Behind me is the fastest, most expensive, most anticipated Toyota Corolla of all time. But I want to know, does it live up to the hype? We're going to show you everything inside and out. We're going to drive it, then I'll tell you how much it costs. My name's Nolan. Welcome to Donut.
Huge thanks to Shopify for sponsoring today's video. Buying donut merch is simple. You just click and it shows up at your door. But what does it actually take to get to your door? You ever thought about that? Merch order in. We got a subclass high-low poster, navy snapback, Hurstbauer shirt, small and XL all day. Heard. When Donut first began selling merch, it was chaotic, which is why we started using Shopify. Corner, hot merch coming through. Watch out, steaming hot merch. Shopify is an easy-to-use, all-in-one commerce platform for anyone looking to start, grow, and manage a business. Where's my order at, Jerry? 3 minutes, Jerry. Has anybody seen my snapbacks? I printed them this morning. Thankfully, we don't have to do that anymore because Shopify does it all. They're reducing the barriers to business ownership and support businesses from first sale to full scale. Shopify lets you sell online, in person, and on all major social platforms with an ever-growing suite of channel integrations and apps to reach your customers. So join Donut and the millions of other merchants by growing your business with Shopify today and get a 14-day free trial at shopify.com/donutmedia, or just click the link below.
All right, so this is the base Corolla right here. It's probably enough car for like 80% of people on the road. The seats are pretty comfortable, the sound system's pretty good, it gets great gas mileage, and I think it looks really cool. I mean, maybe not really cool, but it looks good. This is actually the Nightshade edition, which sounds sick. It's got black wheels, black trim. Nightshade, though, is a type of plant, and plants are not sports cars. Only drawbacks are the steering is not the most responsive, not the sportiest car in the world. So I'm really excited to see how Toyota changed this thing to make it a little rally car. Now, Toyota has a legacy of building really fun cars, but in the late 2000s, the company was really more focused on efficiency and reliability. Prius, anyone. Toyota knew that their longtime fans remembered cars like the Celica, like the AE86, like the Supra, but they didn't want to take a big risk building a sports car they weren't sure anyone was going to buy, so they teamed up with Subaru, and the result in 2012 was the Scion FRS. The car was such a huge success, it's now rebranded as the Toyota GR86, which I'm driving right now. This thing rocks. Everyone wanted a GR86. I mean, how many people in your community college parking lot had one? Toyota was like, all right, maybe people do want a Toyota sports car. Let's do it again, but this time make it faster. And since Toyota is smart and wanted to minimize risk, they teamed up again, this time with BMW. The result was the return of one of the most legendary names in Toyota history, the Supra. You know what people did? They complained. A lot of hate came from people who had never even touched the car, but when you really drive the Supra, all that falls by the wayside. It's an outstanding car. And now, the Supra is even better because it has a manual transmission. What happened next? Well, both cars went racing. The GR86 became a drifting staple, and the Supra went road racing and even went to NASCAR. With all this newfound confidence, Toyota wanted to build another sports car, but this time all by themselves. So no more Subaru, no more BMW, this one would be all Toyota. Toyota entered the World Rally Championship with a bespoke rally car based on the Yaris platform. They stuffed a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine under the hood, gave it all-wheel drive and a wide-body kit. But this wasn't enough. Toyota president Akio Morizo Toyoda wanted a street-legal version. So instead of developing a road car into a race car, they flipped it and developed the Yaris rally car into a road car. They called it the GR Yaris. For some reason, this weird little rally car made tons of noise online, and nerds everywhere wanted one, including the biggest nerd of all, me. But Toyota never intended to bring the GR Yaris stateside, which sucked. So they surprised us with this, the GR Corolla. Toyota took all that cool rally tech and tucked it into the Corolla, sold here in the US. There are 3 price points for the GR Corolla, and we're going to look at all of them, starting with the Core Edition. This thing starts at $35,900. Not bad for what you get, really. You get that same motor that's in the GR Yaris, 3-cylinder, 300 horsepower, it's turbocharged. Pretty awesome, it goes to all 4 wheels. It's like a little rally car. So the Core Edition does not come with limited slip differentials in the front or rear. It's like open diffs. This one has a performance package, meaning it does have the differentials, and it's also got these red brake calipers with the GR logo. The brakes are really good. Those are 4-piston brakes in the front with a 14-inch rotor, and they're 2-piston in the back. I think it's an 11-inch rotor. Because they had to put wider fenders on the car to make the doors match, they had to put these little plastic things on there. I think that's kind of funny. To be honest, it's not exactly a looker with that wide body, but that's just my preference. I think this is the color that I would get personally, because the giant, enormous, big mouth grille in the front is not as like overbearing. Inside the Core Edition, it feels a lot like that base Corolla we saw earlier, with a few key differences. There's your leather wrapped steering wheel. The seats are different. They're a lot more bolstered and keep you in. Obviously, there's a 6-speed manual transmission down here, and this knob right here that lets you change the distribution of power between the wheels. Also, a mechanical handbrake to let you do some 6 skids out on those dirt back roads. Overall, yeah, it feels very familiar, but a step up from the base Corolla, which is what you want, because you're gonna be spending $35,900 on this thing. You're gonna want it to feel a little more special. To be quite honest with you, I'm a guy whose tastes have kind of elevated, okay? I'm kind of an elitist. I have discerning taste, and I could be totally cool with this thing. Let's go have some fun. All right, that engine does take a little bit to get spooled up. 0 to 60 in just under 5 seconds. Has a little bit of turbo lag, but power overall, really get this thing moving, dude. Because this thing has such a short wheelbase, it rotates really well. I mean, it's nothing like a Supra or anything like that, because it's still all-wheel drive, but you can definitely feel the difference. The front really communicates with you, you know? You can feel when it's understeering really easily. Okay. Those 4-piston brakes up front are really great. And you know, I'm not the best driver out there. I like to think I am, but I'm not. But this thing is really well balanced, and that means it's really confidence inspiring and easy to drive. Shift. All right, down on the brakes, into third. I carry a lot of speed through here. Hell yeah. Yeah, baby. I think this thing can be as fast as the driver, meaning you can be someone who's not so great at driving and have a really good time, be someone who's a professional maybe, and really wring a lot out of this car. Oh my God, that's the camera. The camera just flew out of its seatbelt. Okay. Overall though, for a hopped up Corolla, you know, for $35,900, I think that's worth the money. This is the kind of car that you just want to keep doing laps in over and over and over again. I'm sure it's amazing on a canyon road as well. Wow. Let's see what the Circuit Edition is like. This is the Circuit Edition. It costs $42,900 and looks pretty much the same as the Core, except for a few key differences. First being the hood. It's a lot bulgier. It's got these hood vents to extract heat. It's also got this forged carbon roof, which is not something that you can option on the Core Edition. This is exclusive to the Circuit Edition and the Maurizzo, which we'll look at a little later. I'd just be afraid of birds pooping on this, to be honest. I don't have a garage. Oh yeah. This thing's badass, dude. Woo. The seats are better. They've got synthetic leather trim, as well as a very nice JBL audio system. I have the car set up in the 30/70 power distribution mode, makes it a little more tail happy. You know, between the Core and the Circuit, I think I would actually go with the Core. It's more affordable and it doesn't feel that much different. And that's of course because our Core car that we drove was equipped with the limited slip differentials in the front and rear. I think that's probably what the biggest difference is. If you want the most affordable GR Corolla, you're gonna have to go with open diffs at each end, and that probably changes the character of the car a lot. Phil is struggling to hold on to the cameras. All right, I'm in the Maurizzo Edition. This is the Big Daddy. It costs a lot of money, but apparently this is the one to have. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's got 20 foot-pounds more torque than the other cars, and it's got Really sticky tires on. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay. The tires on the other two cars, just a little less grip than I was expecting. It kind of holds you back, but this, they're amazing. This car is named after Toyota's president, Akio Toyota, because he wanted to build a car that would put a smile on your face. This is like meeting your girlfriend's parents for the first time. You're smiling because you're excited, but you're also a little nervous. Oh my God. This car doesn't have a back seat. It's about 100 pounds lighter than the core. Oh, I took way too much speed. Whoops, I messed that up. Wow, it really puts the freaking power down, man. I just want to keep doing laps in this all day and see if I can improve. This is the best Corolla ever built, bar none. So about that tweet I made a few months ago, would I make questionable financial decisions to own one of these things? Does the GR Corolla live up to the hype? Maritza Edition certainly does. This thing is exactly how I imagined the GR Corolla would drive when we saw it revealed a few months ago. It's unfortunate though that the lower trim levels, the Core Edition, the Circuit Edition, don't have the extra torque that this car does. It doesn't have the gear ratio that this car does. It doesn't have the tires. You know, I think if you bought a Core Edition or a Circuit Edition, put some really beast tires on it, you're gonna have a great time no matter where you're driving. And that being said, I think I'm gonna go make a questionable financial decision. See you next time.